Hey guys, future me here, just letting you know some of these stories are absolutely terrifying. So if you don't do well with that sort of thing, maybe just skip this video. Because some of these stories will probably give you the heebie-jeebies, and yeah, I don't want to be bestowing that upon you if that's not something you're into. So if you don't do well with horror, creepy type things, maybe skip this video. But if that's something you're into, continue watching. Now onto the video. Okay, so with Halloween being tomorrow, I figured I'd do a little bit of a spooky type of video. But as opposed to doing story prompts like I had done in the past, I decided I'm going to look at some short stories that are of the horror, creepy type genre. Now, I did not write these stories, but I could not find the author of these stories. No matter how hard I looked, for some reason, it just was not showing up. So, yeah, I did not write these stories. Credit goes to whoever wrote these stories. I just don't happen to know who they are. If anybody does know who wrote these stories, please let me know in the comments down below, because I'm really, really curious as to who wrote these stories. Okay. First story. I hate it when my brother Charlie has to go away. My parents constantly try to explain to me how sick he is, that I am lucky for having a brain where all the chemicals flow properly to their destinations like undammed rivers. When I complain about how bored I am without a little brother to play with, they try to make me feel bad by pointing out that his boredom likely far surpasses mine, considering his confined to a dark room in an institution. I always beg for them to give him one last chance. Of course, they did at first. Charlie has been back home several times, each shorter in duration than the last. Every time, without fail, it all starts again. The neighborhood cats with gouged out eyes showing up in his toy chest. My dad's razors found dropped on a baby slide at the park across the street. Mom's vitamins replaced by bits of dishwater tablets. My parents are hesitant now, using last chances sparingly. They say his disorder makes him charming, makes it easy for him to fake normalcy, and to try to trick the doctors who care for him into thinking that he is ready for a rehabilitation. That I will just have to put up with my boredom if it means staying safe from him. I hate it when Charlie has to go away. It makes me have to pretend to be good until he is back. Poor Charlie. Seriously, poor Charlie. Charlie's not doing anything. Oh, poor Charlie. I think I read that one before, but either way, I love that twist at the end where it's like, I hate it when Charlie has to go away because then I have to pretend to be good. That's some psycho territory. And I'm kind of here for it. In the story, not in real life. Don't do that in real life. Alright, next story. Everyone loves the first day of school, right? I mean, that's pretty much the only day of school that I do like, other than the last. So, new year, new classes, new friends. It's a day full of potential and hope before all the dreary depressions of reality show up to ruin all the fun. Pretty accurate, honestly. I like the first day of school for a different reason, though. You see, I have a sort of power. When I look at people, I can sense a sort of aura around them. A colored outline based on how long that person has to live. Most everyone I meet around my age is surrounded by solid green hue, which means they have plenty of life left. Yay. A fair amount of them have a yellow-orangish tinge to their auras, which tends to mean a car crash or some other tragedy. Something tells me you're behind all this, aren't you? Anything that takes people before their time, as they say. The real fun is when the auras venture into the red end of the spectrum, though. Every now and again, I'll see someone who's basically a walking stoplight. Those are the ones who get murdered or kill themselves. It's such a rush to see them and know their time is numbered. Yeah, you the one doing the killing, aren't you? With that in mind, I always get to class very early so I can scout out my classmates' fates. The first kid who walked in was basically radiating red. Yeah. I chuckled to myself. Too damn bad, bro. But as people kept walking in, they all had the same intense glow. I finally caught a glimpse of my rose-tinted reflection in the window, but I was too stunned to move. Okay. Our professor stepped in and locked the door. His aura, a sickening shade of green. So maybe it's not the kid who's murdering these people. Maybe it's going to be the professor that's going to kill them all. Okay. All right. Why not? Okay, third story. It has been said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I understand the sentiment behind the saying, but it's wrong. Okay. I entered the building on a bet. I was strapped for cash and didn't buy into the old legends of the hotel to begin with. Hotels are always terrifying. So $50 was more than enough to get me to do it. Are you kidding me? No. At least wait and hold out for more, okay? $50 is not enough. It was simple. Just reach the top floor. The 45th floor? Okay. Shine my flashlight from a window. The hotel was old and broken, including the elevator. So that meant hiking up the stairs. Okay. $50 is definitely not enough to get me to hike 45 flights of stairs. No. You should have held out for more, buddy. You should have. So up the stairs I went. As I reached each platform, I noted the old brass plaques displaying the floor numbers. 15, 16, 17, 18. I felt a little tired as I crept higher, but so far, no ghosts, no cannibals, no demons. Okay. Piece of cake. I can't tell you how happy I was when I entered that last stretch of numbers. I joyfully counted them aloud at each platform. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 44. Okay. I stopped and looked back down the stairs. I must have miscounted, so I continued up. 44. One more flight. 44. And then down 10 flights. 44. 15 flights. 44. And so it's been for as long as I can remember. So really, insanity isn't doing something repeatedly and expecting different results. It's knowing that the results will never ever change. That each door leads to the same staircase, to the same number. It's realizing you no longer fall asleep. It's not knowing whether you've been running for days or weeks or years. It's when the sobbing slowly turns into laughter. What in the world? So, go to 45th floor, walk those stairs, and it just 44. All the way up. 44 all the way back down, too, so you can't even escape. I told you $50 was too little, dude. Told you $50 was too little. You should have sprung for more. He's trapped. Forever. That's fun. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to a hotel. Never. Never, 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 never. Next story. My daughter woke me around 11:50 last night. That's way too late. My wife and I had picked her up from her friend Sally's birthday party, brought her home and put her to bed. My wife went into the bedroom to read while I fell asleep watching the Braves game. Daddy, she whispered, tugging at my shirt sleeve. Guess how old I'm gonna be next month? I don't know, beauty, I said as I slipped on my glasses. How old? She smiled and held up 4 fingers. That's cute. It's 7:30 now. My wife and I have been up with her for almost 8 hours. She still refuses to tell us where she got them. See, I knew there was going to be something creepy in the end of this. She's going to be 4. She held up 4 fingers. They weren't her own. Oh. Kids are kind of creepy. Like, they kind of are. But when they go and they grab fingers from other people, maybe it's time we check that child into a mental institution, because that is not normal. That is not normal. No. We don't just go around holding up other people's fingers. Yeah. Next story. He had been given the watch on his 10th birthday. It was an ordinary gray plastic wristwatch in every respect, except for the fact that it was counting down. Okay. That is all of the time you have left in the world, son. Use it wisely. I mean, that'd be kind of fun, actually. And indeed he did. As the watch ticked away, the boy, now a man, lived his life to the fullest. He climbed mountains and swam oceans. He talked and he laughed and he lived and he loved. The man was never afraid, for he knew exactly how much time he had left. Something tells me this watch is not counting right. Eventually, the watch began its final countdown. The old man stood looking over everything that he had done, everything he had built. 5. He shook hands with his old business partner, the man who had long been his friend and confidant. 4. His dog came and licked his hand, earning a pat on the head for its companionship. Oh my gosh, the dog. 3. He hugged his son, knowing that he had been a good father. 2. He kissed his wife on the forehead one last time. 1. The old man smiled and closed his eyes. Then, nothing happened. The watch beeped once and turned off. The man stood standing there, very much alive. You would think that in this moment he would have been overjoyed, but instead, for the first time in his life, the man was scared. Yeah, I mean, I go back and forth about this, because I'm like, on one hand, I'm like, that would be really cool to have, you know, a watch or some form of something that tells you when and how you're going to die. But on the other hand, that would be kind of a little bit more creepy knowing. But yeah, now this man who has relied on this watch to tell him this is when you're going to die, very much alive without his watch telling him when he's going to die. So, I mean, yeah, I guess if you spend your whole life not being afraid of anything because it's like, well, you know, I still got 35 years to live, so let's go. Yeah, you would kind of be terrified for the first time in your life because it's like, now I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. Next story. Have you ever walked into a room and found a vampire? Can't say that I have. Cannot say that I have. No, not the sexy kind, but a foul creature with bony limbs and ashen skin. Again, no, never happened. The kind that snarls as you enter, like a beast about to pounce. The kind that roots you to the spot with its sunken hypnotic eyes, rendering you unable to flee as you watch the hideous thing uncoil from the shadows. Can't say that I have. Has your heart started racing though your legs refuse to? Have you felt time slow as the creature crosses the room in the darkness of a blink? Have you shuddered with fear when it places one clawed hand atop your head and another under your chin so it can tilt you, exposing your neck? Have you squirmed as its rough, dry tongue slides down your cheek over your jaw to your throat in a slithering search that's seeking your artery? No. Have you felt its hot breath release in a hiss against your skin when it probes for your pulse? The flow that leads to your brain? Has its tongue rested there, throbbing slightly as if savoring the moment? Have you then experienced a sinking, sucking blackness as you discover that not all vampires feed on blood? Some feed on memories? Well, have you? No. Not really. Can't say that I have. Maybe not, but let me rephrase the question. Have you ever walked into a room and suddenly forgotten why you came in? Are you? This is me all the time. You mean to tell me it's been a vampire this whole damn time? I don't know about that. That's kind of terrifying. Next story. I don't know why I looked up, but when I did, I saw him there. He stood against my window. His forehead rested against the glass, and his eyes were still and light, and he smiled a lipstick red cartoonish grin. That sounds terrifying. And he stood there in the window. My wife was upstairs sleeping. My son was in his crib, and I couldn't move. I froze and watched him looking past me through the glass. Oh, please, no. His smile never moved, but he put a hand up and slid it down the glass, watching me, with matted hair and yellow skin, and face through the window. I couldn't do anything. I just stayed there, frozen. Feet still in the bushes. I was pruning, looking into my home. He stood against my window. That is terrifying. What in the world? No, 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 no. Next story, because I don't want to think about that no more. I watched as my soon-to-be father-in-law held his daughter's hand as he walked down the aisle. I mean, so far this is sweet. I mean, tears streamed down his face as the wedding march that played in the background reminded him that in a few minutes he would be watching me hold his daughter's hand and slipping on her ring. I mean, this just sounds like a really sweet, sad story. Okay. He walked up to the altar and I took hold of her hand, grinning from ear to ear. That sounds kind of creepy. Dude, what are you planning? It was the happiest day of my life. My bride's father got down on his knees and started begging. Please, I did what you asked. Just please give me my daughter back. Okay. I glared at him. Shut up and stop ruining the moment. If you sit back down and enjoy the ceremony, maybe I'll tell you where I've hidden the rest of her body. See, I knew the groom was creepy. I knew the groom was creepy when he smiled from ear to ear, like grinning from ear to ear. That's creepy. No, don't do that. Oh boy. Okay. We're moving on. I'm just... Here they come again, the brave ones. Another Halloween night and the kids are back, here to prove their fearlessness. I mean, yeah. The old house's floorboards creak beneath their sneakers. Only half an hour until midnight, so I have to work fast. I start with their flashlight, blowing lightly against it so that it flickers, but this inspires little more than a nervous giggle. 15 minutes until midnight. Time to take things up a notch. I hover up to the ceiling and will my body into flesh. My every nerve is on fire, but they've given me no choice. I force drops of blood to trickle out of my nose, but the boys below don't notice. I knock against the ceiling, but they won't even look up. I thought this place was supposed to be haunted, says the leader. What a joke. 5 minutes until midnight. I'm running out of time. With the last of my strength, I scream so loud that they finally turn to look up at me. I like to think I put on a good show. I sway on an invisible noose, and the blood flows freely from my nostrils now. The couple of drops hit the skinny one with a crew cut. The boys scream and run into the night. Just in time. Below me, I hear the thing turn. Its disappointment palpable. For now, it sleeps, but one day I will fail. The boys will be too brave, and I won't scare them out in time. One day, they will wake it. This is why we don't go into places that are supposed to be haunted. Because they probably are. And we don't do that. Alright, last story. When my sister Betsy and I were kids, our family lived for a while in a charming old farmhouse. That already kind of sounds creepy. Not gonna lie. We loved exploring its dusty corners and climbing the apple trees in the backyard. But our favorite thing was the ghost. That was your favorite thing? Really? The ghost? Okay. We called her Mother because she seemed so kind and nurturing. That's already a problem. A ghost being kind and nurturing? Okay. If you called it Grandma, maybe I'd buy it, but okay. Some mornings, Betsy and I would wake up, and on each of our nightstands, we'd find a cup that hadn't been there the night before. Mother had left them there, worried that we'd get thirsty during the night. See, yeah, no, don't drink things that Ghosty put there. Don't drink things that Ghosty put there, okay? She just wanted to take care of us. Among the house's original furnishings was an antique wooden chair, which we kept against the back wall of the living room. Whenever we were preoccupied watching TV or playing a game, Mother would inch that chair forward across the room toward us. Sometimes she'd manage to move it all the way to the center of the room. We always felt sad putting it back against the wall. Mother just wanted to be near us. Years later, long after we'd moved out, I found an old newspaper article about the farmhouse's original occupant, a widow. She'd murdered her 2 children by giving them a cup of poisoned milk before bed. See, don't drink things that Ghosty put on your bed. Okay, there we go. All right. Then she'd hanged herself. The article included a photo of the farmhouse's living room with a woman's body hanging from a beam. Beneath her, knocked over, was the old wooden chair placed exactly in the center of the room. See, this is the thing. We don't trust ghosties. We don't trust ghosties. Ghosties are not fun. We don't trust them. She always put like a glass of milk or whatever beside her bed. She just wanted to take care of us. We don't drink things that ghosties put there. Ghosties have malicious intentions. But also like a widow. So like, did she murder her husband too? Or did her husband just die and then she went and she killed her kids? Like, this is sort of the things I got to know. I guess we'll never know. But either way, I guess the moral of the story is don't go into haunted houses and don't drink things that ghosts leave beside your bed. Let me know which one of these stories was your favorite. Let me know if you have any other creepy horror type stories. And like I said, if you know who wrote any of these stories, let me know in the comments down below because I am really curious. Thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more story prompts.